Hey peeps, how's it going? This week I'm turning a rolling pin out of beech. Here I'm measuring the distance between the centres of the lathe so that I know how long to cut the blank. I thought this project maybe seemed a bit too boring to bother editing, but I thought that you guys might find the process interesting, so here we are. I made this as a present to Jane's sister, probably about 6 months, maybe a year after I said I'd actually do it. Or maybe it was for her birthday, but then we didn't see her for like 3 or 4 months and after her birthday, so it ended up being a very late birthday present. That label just says that the blank is made of beech, but there's too much glare on it for you guys to read it. Sorry. This is another video where you lucky people get to stare at my undone flies for 20 minutes to half an hour. There we go. I still have that off-cut piece. I'm thinking of making a small goblet or possibly a spice shovel out of it. You see some German videos of people making them. They're called like Gewürzschaufel and Salzschaufel and stuff. Here I've mounted the blank between centres, which means it's held just by the spur drive at the motorised headstock end, and a live centre which spins freely at the tailstock end. For the next few shots, I'm just roughing the blank out into a cylinder, trying to get it roughly uniform, but mostly just knocking the corners off it and trying to remove all the flat spots. What am I looking for? Dust mask. Now I'm just refining the shape a bit further, trying to get rid of any obvious high points before I start measuring properly. In the next section, I further refine the shape by finding any high points and cutting them back with the skew chisel or sandpaper. I found the high points by setting my calipers to roughly what I wanted the final width to be, then marked along the blank anywhere where it was too wide for them to pass over it. Here's a nice close-up of me squaring off the ends with my narrow parting tool, and I'm sorry if I sound like an airline pilot telling you we're about to land.
I'm so hungry. Oh, still
Next, I'm finishing the rolling pin with mineral oil. Mineral oil is an inert, non-drying finish that needs replenishing every now and again. This bottle I bought from IKEA. It's called Skid. Mineral oil is a good finish for any wooden cookware that's going to be washed and used regularly, because the finish will rub off and it's fairly easy to reapply. In a few of these shots, the oil makes the wood quite shiny, so I'm sorry about the glare on that. I can't actually tell what I'm saying in this next bit. Jane walked in and I was telling her something about the finish and probably something about being fed up of sanding.
really hot. It's fine, it's not really hot, it's just warm. There's a little tool mark there, annoying me, but not really a lot I can do without resanding it, and I can't really be asked. I've sanded it twice. So. Sorry. It's not dangerous one, it's mineral oil, it's the chopping board stuff. Can't imagine it leaving stain.
You're good at that motion, Ali. After giving as many coats as I could of mineral oil, I'm parting the ends off so that I've got nice, neat ends to the rolling pin. So, as I was saying earlier, the pin was held between centres, which meant that it wasn't positively held onto the lathe. Some things you can part all the way if they're held on strongly on the lathe, but if you part something that's between centres, there'll be nothing holding it to the lathe, and the two pieces will fly off at speed. So instead of parting all the way with a parting tool, I use a small saw to get through the last little bit of wood. After sanding off the rough ends from parting, I soaked them in more mineral oil. The ends are the parts that especially need finishing because on a utility piece like this, they're the parts that will soak up the most water, which can cause mold. And there you go, a straight rolling pin. I may make another one in the future with tapered ends, which seems to be quite fashionable about at the moment, but for now that's how I do it. I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments. I'm no expert, but I'm always happy to talk to people.